Okay, for some reason I left my SD card at home. But when I got here this morning, I see that the floor in here is quite cleaned up enough. Yeah, Timothy cleaned it up. I wasn't here yesterday, I had things to do, but that leads us to the first thing on the W235 for the docket in 2024. So I've owned this machine since 2015, brand new. I bought it. Ooh, that didn't sound good. What the hell? I bought it brand new. It's been pretty much a flawless machine. We did have a couple of these CAN bus terminators go bad. I had a couple of these bumpers go bad on them on this side here, and it busted the holes out of that. So what I did was I put new ones on. I should probably put another one in there. All right, the other problem that I've had with this machine is right here. The fan clutch, for some stupid reason, the fan clutch will screw up. It just, for some reason, it goes bad. Now this thing is not cheap. It is not cheap at all. So there's two things on this fan clutch. There's this little guy here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get my light and I'll show you. So that fan clutch, oh, I got this. I think I paid $5 for this thing, right? Yeah, there we go. Come on. Better come on. Brand new in the box. It's only 50 years old is all. I know some people say, oh, that's an antique. You should get a regular. So anyways, if you can see here now, this piece right here goes bad a lot of times, right? Well, I put a new one in, and it's not that. It keeps giving me a code that it's, oh, the fan clutch is sorts. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you that right now, is we meaning me and possibly Tim. He is here. He's loading corn right now. But I bought the brand new fan clutch here that goes in there. This fan clutch, it's a Horton, just like the last one. Like the spaghetti string crap. Just like the last one. Feels freer. It is freer. And it comes, if you see, that just screws on. So what you do is you take the fan blades off, you take off this expensive, if I could get it out of here real quick, doing this stuff one hand, two hands, with two hands is a lot better than one hand. So it comes with one of these. I have, and basically this is the controller for that fan clutch. Now this turns freely, right? Now when I come over here, and this is the issue with them, is they get solid. They turn solid. This turns very, very, very difficult. Very difficult. So what I got to do is I got to pull all of these bolts off of here. There's what, 6 of them, I imagine. 6 of them, and then I got to get an adjustable wrench on this side and on there, and I can just break that free. That clutch will come off. I'll put the new clutch in, put the bolts back in, and we'll test it out. So what happens with this thing is when you start the machine up and you run it, it'll start up, you'll hear the fan, and then that fan clutch will just disengage and the fan won't run until you absolutely need it. So when you get to the field, it'll turn on, it'll turn off, just like a normal fan clutch would in your car. The old mechanical style, in my opinion, was better. They lasted a hell of a lot longer. But these are electronic controlled clutches. That clutch, that new clutch, this new clutch, this new clutch right here, this guy, you know, this thing right here, yeah, $1,700 and change, almost $1,800. So it's expensive, super duper expensive. This is the second one of these that I have put on this machine. Whoa, we are running too fast there for some reason. Let me hit the unload button there. All right. Ooh. I'm getting goosed everywhere. What the heck? Anyway, so these have a special star-shaped head on them. What is that? A 6-sided reverse Torx.
Yeah.
Timothy had it. I knew he had it. I knew at one point that he had gotten them. That's what it takes. It's like a reverse Torx wrench. So we'll be using that to take that off. But first things first, I want to take off that expensive sender, or I don't know what you would call that thing. The last time this thing seized up, it ripped off that whole thing. Just tore it right off, spun it around. I ended up buying a new one, and when I put it on, it did the same damn dumb thing. Oh, no, that's fine. I knew it. Did the same thing, so pretty sure that's a 10 millimeter. Right?
It is.
It is a 10. So we'll give it a 10 and an extension on there. When you've done this a couple of times, it just becomes second nature. But it's better to remove this guy here. They gave me a brand new one, so I'm not going to put the brand new one on because I know this one is only on here for a couple of months. That's it. Remember putting this in?
Yeah, and it finally went away.
Well, the code went away, but it didn't fix the problem.
No, it did. When I went to go mow up there at up there next to the park, it actually went. The fan actually died down.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Well, it's stiff as a, I don't know, stiff as could be right now. So I'm gonna have a tendency to disagree with you. It didn't 100% go away. But what I can do is take it, once I get it off of here, I can put this on the shelf, because if you say that it's fixed, if you say that that fixed the problem, I mean, I'm tempted to give you a maybe, but problems generally don't fix themselves. But this could have dirt built up in it. So it could have dirt built up in it. But it died down.
Yeah, it died down.
It seems awful stiff to me, that's all. But let's just put it this way. Maybe, I don't know. We're going to find out. I thought that it had continued to throw the code. That thing runs, that spins. Oh yeah. I forgot about those. Spins pretty freely. So I'm not going to disconnect that thing. Oh, you know, I saw a tool the other day and I thought, you know, I want to buy that. It's for depressing these little clips. I took it off anyway. So it's a weird tool. So, you know, it's got like a gripper that grips on the bottom side, and then it has a depressing thing, and then you pull it like that. And I thought, you know what, I gotta buy that. But I'm yet to find it online. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is break these loose. Each one of these loose, and hopefully they come off pretty easily. Come on. They do. They break loose pretty easy, but I don't know, that seems awful stiff to me. I'd hate to see. I don't know, well, we'll find out. You know what? I bought the damn thing. I don't want to get into this coming year and have it
Having issues.
have it fail again.
Mud up there.
I know I've been told that these aren't a problem. We'll find out. Oh, come on. But it is the new year, so anyway, you can shut that down. Okay, so after a wee bit of persuasion, I'm going to stick you guys here. That's a nice thing about these cameras, is they do have a magnetic base. You got to get that loosened up before you take the fan off, because it's going to be a real pain in the ass. And you know, real pain in the asses are real pain in the asses. So we just don't like real pain in the asses. Uh-oh. That don't sound good. Okay, so I guess he's full. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use this little nubbin ratchet, hand ratchet, like this guy here. I'll show you. These things work really good. This little ratchet right here, they come in different sizes, but they're perfect for when you can't get a ratchet in there full time, when it's just slightly too tight to get your fingers on them. They just give you just enough leverage to get that out of there, which to me makes your life a whole lot easier. And then you just get these off of here and out of there. There's special bolts, and I will go ahead and turn that like so. Boy, oh no, it's like all of a sudden that thing spins real nice. Well, it spins real nice because I've got the nut on that clutch loosened up, or the bolt on that clutch loosened up. And I'm not convinced there's anything wrong with this one either after talking with Timothy. So I'm pretty sure that it could have been that sending unit. I know that it threw codes to the point where it said don't run this machine, and the machine wouldn't move because of it. And when we changed that, I didn't feel that it changed anything, but it could be that it's okay. But I'll just put it on the shelf or in that box for the next time I have an issue with this thing, because you know, one every few years. I mean, I bought this machine in 2015. Adam Tanis sold it to me out of Deer Country in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I miss Adam. He's a good guy. Now, let me shut that off there. And of course I had to drop at least one. And you don't want to leave those in there because these fans have a tendency to blow up when they hit something. So you do this here. Nope, going the wrong way. Holy smokes, man. You take that fan out, it's pretty easy. But let me climb up top there. What's that? What, the fan? Yeah. I took the fan off.
I know. I mean, out.
Yeah. Well, even to take the fan off. When we were down North Carolina, we had that. Who was that? Lee Bunting. His fan blew up in his combine. Caused a whole bunch of trouble. Okay. All right. So now that you guys are out of the dark, it doesn't, you know, there's no appearance. It's pretty stiff, so I don't know. What do you think, Tim? You think it's okay?
I don't know.
So you're telling me that this fan idled down, that you couldn't even hear the engine run?
When it was running wide open, it would stay continuously on, but when it got to a certain point, it would release.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that we're making the right decision. It's, you know, $1,700 or $1,800, close to $1,800 is a lot of money. But when you're in the field and something ain't working correctly and you're shut down, oh, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you know what it is? It's because the liquid inside.
Yeah, there's liquid in it, I know. Okay. Yeah, there's a liquid inside. Well, it could be that it was not allowing itself to cool. No, I guess so. Who knows? Got the green paint on it that's been balanced. Yeah. Well, we're going to put it in. We're going to start it up, and we should have, because I drove it over here, and it never did slow down. So when they don't slow down, it's pretty much a telltale sign that there is an issue. So they got to slow down. That fan will just disengage, and then you'll just hear the engine run. And yeah, so let's deal with this. Yeah, maybe you can get a first-hand look at what I'm doing here. It's like a POV, FPV, first person's view. While I BS here a little bit, you just put everything back on there, the opposite of what you took it off is all. Everything should line up. Like it does. What did you do, break a thing? What do you do with that little hand thing? Here it is. These have to be tightened up. You can't just forget about them. Oh, these bolts. These aren't, you're just, oh, it'll tighten on its own kind of a thing. I'm telling you, that fan will fly out of there and cause a hell of a mess. I'm sure there's a torque spec for this, and I'm sure somebody's going to point out that I didn't torque it correctly, but that's okay, because you know what? I don't care. My machine will probably take about 12 foot-pound of torque on this thing. It won't, and I can achieve that with my ratchet. No, that's too much with this. No, get this. You gotta be careful because that's aluminum housing, and that's steel. It's steel bolts, and you don't really want to go too hard on them because you'll strip that aluminum out, and then you're gonna really cuss yourself. I was always good with torque. When I did I did something on the 8120, and Joe said, you really need to torque those, and Grant was there. I was like, okay, see how close I am. I was like right on. They couldn't believe it. I'm like, yeah, well, you get a feel for this stuff with experience. Some people don't understand, but I do. And I'm okay with it, because you know what? I can do this really good. I can tell just before she's ready to strip out too, and we are not there. We're good. That one's a little loose. That's it. So what I'll do is I'll put this little strap back on here. That strap, that sending unit, it's just a 2-prong plug that says turn on, turn off through the computer, and life will be good. I'll film it started. Alright, so that was a fairly easy deal. I ran the engine this morning to pull it up in here, and it only took me 35, 40 minutes to put that thing in. It's not a hard job. You know, a lot of guys think that these jobs are horrific and hard when it comes to that, but they're not. So what I'll do, I'll let this thing boot up, and it says it is. Do that, whatever. I have no codes yet. So what you do is just let her warm up a little bit, and make sure that the damn thing is looks like it's functioning okay. Now I'm not sure if it'll shut off on an idle or not, so just let her warm up a minute, and then what I'll do is I'll go on inside and I'll run her at full throttle, and you'll be able to hear that fan shut off or slow down. So they run through a cycle. So it starts up, lets the engine warm up, pulls air through the radiator. I do believe it does that on purpose, because as the temperatures cool, any of the crap that are in there while that thing is packed hot, you know, it'll shrink down and then maybe blow out. I don't know. These radiators stay pretty clean. This one here needs to be cleaned out anyway. But yeah, so this job is about done. I got this cough I can't seem to get rid of. I sat next to a kid in church and he got me sick, and he hasn't been there since last Sunday. Ow, fucker! Did you see that? That hurt. Can't get those in. All right. So here we go. I will push the button. Woo! You can hear it. Oh, she's solid now. I don't think that thing was running. I think that clutch was slipping. Oh, there it goes. Did you hear it? Slowed right down. So that fan clutch is working. Excellent. All right. I'm going to call that a success. Oh, what did that say? I think it had something to say. Yeah. That's awesome. So what that does... All right. So why that thing does that, of course it brings the machine up to temperature faster. That's the reason that that thing kicks out. So when you go to the field, whether it's in the summer, the winter, spring, or fall, which I will be running this machine like possibly tomorrow. I have some hay up north that needs to be mowed and baled. It's mulch hay, so I showed it in one of the other videos. But anyway, so that fan, what its objective is as you're going to the field or as you start to the field, it gets it to its peak temperature, which I do believe is 180 degrees. You want it at 180 degrees and maintain that 180 degrees because that's where the machine is tuned to be at its most efficient. It burns cleaner there, it operates cooler there, your fuel efficiency and your horsepower is not diminished because when you get too hot, your horsepower is diminished, and therefore so forth and so on. So what you do is when you get to the field and you start running, you'll hear that thing kick on when it's needed. It runs at like a quarter of what it would normally. It slips in the clutch, and then when it needs to cool off, then it'll kick on and pull a bunch of air through, and then it'll kick out again and run at that quarter. So I'm going to hit it on high again, see what it does. Hear it? So what's going to happen now is, now that I'm at full throttle, you should hear it release itself and slow down. Basically sound like the engine stops running, which right there it goes. So I hope you all could hear that and understand that that's the normal operation of this machine. So with that job being done, I'm just going to go ahead and shut her off. Probably just going to leave it in here for now. I don't have anything else I really want to bring in here right now. Yeah, so it's going to save its settings. I got some other little tidbit things that need to be done. There's a couple of jobs that I want to do to it. One is to actually open up the back and usually get some crap in there. These filters, I should change that fuel filter. Check the oil. Obviously I did check the oil before I got started, but I'm seeing this here, which is not good. And I do believe that I took the filter out of that thing, the breather filter. It's the dumbest thing since anything. But yeah, here we go. And here comes Aunt Beth with the guinea whisperer. Get in your spot. Get in your spot. Those noisy ass things.